Sorry about 1201. Welcome to a new round in the red clay. John, hear you there. Thanks for dropping by, as you always do. During the high school season, for those unfamiliar, what we do is we come in on noon on Wednesdays and we break down everything that is in the high school game as the number 3 sport in American football for sending folks to the next level. This is a part of our programming, exposing and letting everybody know what's going on in and around the state when it comes to high school soccer. Next match day that we have on the network is tomorrow. We will be in Hogansville. When we had Mike Pettit on the show last week, it was another opportunity for us to see what's going on at Callaway and what's going on for the Soccer Cavaliers, and we get to see it up close and personal tomorrow. And it will be the doubleheader that is there that's a part of all of our activities, and it will be on the network a little before. And I want to double check to make sure that we are looking at next round of matchups coming in 5:30 and 7:30. And it is now it's an opportunity for us to let everybody know what's going on and find out that it was going to be an interesting day for us to be a part of these matchups. And so it's an opportunity for us to see what's going on with the Callaway Cavaliers and find out what's going on the boys' side and on the girls' side. Boys right now 9-4, 6-2 in region, and it is a region that is stacked. And when we caught up with Coach Pettit last week, it was an opportunity to kind of look at things in Region 2 AA and to let you know that it is literally, you take the top 3 teams, you can throw an umbrella over the whole thing on the boys' side, because it is 6-1 Morgan County, 6-1 Pike, and 6-2 Callaway. Callaway and Pike are 9-4 on the season. Pike's defense is insane. They've only given up 10 goals in 13 matches. And they've given up 3 goals in 7 matches on the boys' side. Morgan County in region, 6-1, 8-2 overall. They have only given up 14 goals in the activity that is there with Morgan County. So 35 goals scored, 4 against in region, 42 and 14 in the overall, 8-2 overall, 6-1 in region play. That's the boys' side. And so 6-1 Morgan County, 6-1 Pike County, 6-2 Callaway. And then you have Jackson right now, who's improving, 6-6 overall, 3-5 in region. And then we asked Coach about teams like Westside and Rutland that are growing in Central Georgia and in the Macon area. And so it was a great education to catch up with Coach on the boys' side and on the girls' side. And it's an opportunity for us to find out what it's like to navigate both of those ways of sitting there and going, okay, here's how we get to have a program that has 2 programs and 1 coaching staff and 1 head coach. And you sit there and it's like, okay, how do we work the pyramid? And so it's an opportunity for us to kind of learn in those ideas. And it's an opportunity to catch up 5:30 and 5:30, 7:30, and Morgan County is the boys' game is at 7:30, and that is once again on the network tomorrow. So we're going to have that, and then it's going to be a bit of a break for Callaway before their sprint, where they go West Side, at Harris, at North Springs, Luella, and then the playoffs. April 16 is decision day. We get to determine who's going to be doing what and where, who is going to be looking at 4 seeds, who's trying to get into the playoffs, who's going to get bumped out. So everything is going for the next 30 days, September, April, June, and November, all the rest F31. So basically the next 22 days. And we're going to determine the playoffs, and then what we'll do from there is we'll dive in and we'll go to catch you up on all the playoff games. We'll be with you with our broadcast schedule through the semifinals. And then NFHS takes over, and they have the finals right now when it comes to the 2026 season. And it is going to be at 3 sites. It's going to be at Upson-Lee, 5-Star at Mercer, and Duluth. And so obviously we'll keep you posted. We don't know which one is where yet, but when we know and we have a better idea, we'll let you know. But 3 sites this year: Upson-Lee, Mercer, 5-Star, and Duluth. That's going to be the championships. And so looking at Callaway on the boys' side, we've told you about how they are right there. 9-4, 6-2 in region. Right now, they're at number 3 behind 6-1 and 6-1. Then on the girls' side, it is just as competitive for the girls' team. They are also 9-4, 6-2 in region play. And last time out, they knocked off Jackson, who's 5-7, and after the win. So Callaway improved to 9-4, and on the girls' side, 5-7 in region play. And looking at their particular schedule in the standings right now in Region 2 AA, Pike County on top. And once again, Pike has completely and totally just developed their program, and they are just going like gangbusters. 11-2 right now on the girls' side, and they are 7-0 in region play. They've only given up 1 goal in region. They've scored 67 in 7 games. 84 scored, 12 against, 9 in a row on the winning streak. Callaway right now 6-2 on the girls' side, 9-4 in the overall. They're on a 2-match win streak. Morgan County 5-2 and 6-4. And last time out for Morgan County on the girls' side, they had their win streak snapped. Jackson 3-5 and 5-7. They have lost 4 in a row in Region 2 AA. And then you have Westside and Rutland, who are once again trying to build their programs. And Westside's trying to get their first win on the season. Rutland trying to get their first region win on the year as they go. So that's where things are right now. It's going to be Pike, Callaway, Morgan, and Jackson. We just don't know the order yet. And so that's the rundown. And that's why we're setting up tomorrow with Morgan County and Callaway on the network across the board. And the best way to go and find the games themselves, if you're first off, set your notifications. But what you do is you go to soccerdownhere.net. You go to our website. I'm going to post it here in the chat. You go to the listen section. And in the listen section, you'll have a couple of players that are available for you. Sometimes early in the year, like when we do Creek Cup and things like that, we have 2 of our 3 channels up and running simultaneously because we have to be in 2 places at once. So when you go to soccerdownhere.net/listen, then you end up with options. And if you see one of the players, one of our channels up and running that has a live option, it's got a live bug going, go there, and that's where the games are. So whatever channel is up and running, sometimes it's on SDH1, sometimes SDH2, depending on how many games we've got going on at once. That might be the way during the playoffs. We'll keep you posted on that. But go to soccerdownhere.net/listen. And that way you can find out where we are, what we're doing, and what we're up to during the soccer season. And not just high school, but when it comes to all the activity that's there, whether it's the twos or anything else that's going on, live events and so on. So soccerdownhere.net/listen on the podcasting side of things. So that's all there. But during the high school season, you're trying to find a particular player, SDH1 and 2, go to the listen section at soccerdownhere.net, and that will lay it all out for you. So that is that's the rundown of where things stand. Breaking news, by the way, out of Atlanta United while we were waiting to come on with you. Atlanta United now has a new individual in the front office. And it is someone with amazing experience in both the men's and the women's game simultaneously. And there is an article that is up with Jason Longshore over at soccerdownhere.net, and it is about Mauricio Culebro. He has been named the president of soccer at AMBSC. Former president of Tigres takes the helm of Atlanta United and the launch of the NWSL franchise in 2028. And this was a worldwide search, and he's going to report directly to AMBSC CEO Rich McKay. Intern, president of 2 major football clubs, COO of the Mexican Football Federation. Most recently served as president of Tigres, sporting and business operations among clubs' men's and women's programs for the last 5 years. Tigres won Liga MX, Campeón de Campeones, Campeones Cup titles, 4 Liga MX Femenil titles, 3 Campeón de Campeones Femenil titles, top 5 in both leagues, doubled commercial revenue, strengthened their club's position as one of Mexico's grandes. And so there's a quote from Arthur Blank that's attached. Prior to the tenure at Tigres, Culebro spent 2 years as chief operating officer for the Mexican Federation, leading planning for the FIFA 2026 World Cup. 15 years at Club America, president, ops VP, ops director, general coordinator, only president in Mexico to capture men's and women's league championships with 2 different clubs. Quote from Culebro, "It is an honor to join AMBSE's highly successful leadership team, become part of an organization with such a strong culture and foundation already in place. I'm excited to put my experience, passion, and commitment at the service of Atlanta United at NWSL Atlanta 2028, working alongside a great team to build long-term projects our fans can feel proud of, teams that truly represent the passion, energy, and ambition of this city," end quote. The release says, as president of soccer, Culebro will be charged with elevating Atlanta United, leading every aspect of the launch of NWSL Atlanta 2028, will serve as the organization's primary liaison for the ongoing partnership with the U.S. Soccer Federation. Atlanta United Chief Soccer Officer, Sporting Director Chris Henderson, Senior VP of Strategy Demetrios Evstathiou, Senior VP Chief Business Officer Sarah Kate Nofsinger have led the day-to-day operations of the club. They will remain in their roles and report directly to Culebro. Collaborating with McKay, leaders across AMBSE and AMBSE shared services team as they begin building each aspect of NWSL Atlanta 2028, including soccer and business leadership and staff, construction of the training ground, NWSL-specific modifications for matches at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Keep an eye on that. So, it is going to be at Mercedes-Benz. Training facility down the street from first team on the men's side. NWSL-specific modifications for matches at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. So there you go. Kind of hidden down in there, but matches at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. So, Mauricio Culebro, president of soccer now for AMBSE. That was named. That came out. When did that? 11:33 this morning. So basically, about 40 minutes ago. 40 minutes ago, Mauricio Culebro named president of soccer for AMBSE. That's the other big piece of news that happened in the 50 minutes that we were off the air, and so that is that's what you're looking at. So that's the other piece of news that happened this morning involving AMBSE, Atlanta United, and NWSL 2028. Now, back to high school. This show, for the next 45 minutes, we're going to talk about rankings. We're going to talk about schedules. Big upset last night in 6A on the boys' side. Number 1 team in the state, whose head coach, by the way, just so you know, Jose Rodriguez from Meadow Creek is going to be joining us 9 o'clock, 9:05 on Friday morning on SDHAM. Because, I mean, and sometimes when we do the show, sometimes coaches can get free. Sometimes they can't. And so we always have the morning show to help out in that regard. And so the morning show is helping us out. They are catching up with him after Meadow Creek loses to Peachtree Ridge last night by the final of 5-1. And trying to see if there's anything that's not behind a paywall when it comes to the Gwinnett Daily Post and find out what's going on involving the matchup in and of itself. Number 6 team in 6A beat the number 1 team. Peachtree Ridge now to 9-3, 3-2. Meadow Creek to 11-2, 4-1. Chidio Mesu and Kamani Peters scored 2 goals each. Ian Rodriguez got goal number 5 for Peachtree Ridge. And so for the boys, big win for Peachtree Ridge at number 6. Meadow Creek number 1, giving up 5. And so it will be an interesting conversation with Coach Rodriguez on Friday morning to find out what the team has learned on Wednesday and Thursday heading into their next match. So Peachtree Ridge, number 6, ends up with the big upset, and Norcross knocking off Duluth is another one. So Norcross knocking off Duluth on the boys' side. Mary Mac Brown scored 5 for Wesleyan in their win over Buford, and congratulations to the coach of the Buford Wolves on the soccer side, because you end up with now north of 200 wins. Seriously. You sit there and you're trying to do a search and it looks at you like, that's not true. And I'm going, yes, it is true. Yes, it is. I love safe searches these days. So you're going to give it to me there? No, you're not. Unbelievable. I'm trying to do something that is just basic research, and apparently, it's not. It's like I just want a name. I legitimately just want a name, and you're not going to give it to me because, for whatever reason, you're not interested. And I'm staring at you, computer, and you're not giving me the information that I'm looking for. So you knock it down a couple of windows, and then it finally does give it to you. Unbelievable. Seriously? You're going to do that? Yeah, you're going to do that. All right, fine. That's how we're going to play. That's how we'll play. Fine. Great. As you wish. Megan Hill, by the way, won her 200th match in history, in her coaching history. And so congrats to Coach Hill, who's been on with us before. And 200 wins, Buford program, they continue to pick them up and put them down as only they can at Buford. And just to give you an idea where Buford is this year, on the girls' side, 5-6 and 2-1 in region play. And so obviously with a lot of graduating seniors, it's going to be a rebuilding year for Coach. You get into the playoffs right now, you're the 4 seed in your region. And in Region 8-6A, you're fighting the likes of Mountain View and Decula, trying to get into the postseason. Right now, it's Mill Creek, Discovery, Mountain View, and Buford. And Mountain View and Buford and Discovery, they're all at 2-1. And right now, you're getting into tiebreakers and things. But Buford right now is the 4 seed. Decula right now at 1-3. Collins Hill is at 0-4, and Central Gwinnett is still looking for their first win of the season. So Mill Creek, Discovery, Mountain View, and Buford. Buford loses to Wesleyan last night in a non-region game outside of Region 8-6A. So let's get into the rankings as we have them. And we'll go, like I said, we're going to go all the way from 6A to single, and then obviously we'll catch up with get the Hart County perspective coming up here in just a little bit. 6A girls, just to give you the rundown, according to our friends at Scoreboard, and this is where we get our weekly rankings. West Forsyth, we've had them on the network so far this year. They are at 11-1, 4-0 in region play, ranked number 1. Walton, trying to find a place in the calendar where we could go and hang out with them. They're at number 2. Brookwood and Doc Mike, they're at number 3. Richmond Hill at 10-0, they're at number 4. Once again, you look at Region 1-6A, Richmond Hill on the coast. They're the ones that are building and doing very, very well. Hillgrove at number 5 at 10-1. Campbell at number 6. Cherokee at number 7, Parkview at 8, Norcross at number 9, and Harrison is at number 10. Coming up, by the way, in region, Harrison and Hillgrove at Hillgrove. And so 8-4 at 10-1 coming up around the corner in a couple of weeks' time at Hillgrove. Really looking forward to seeing that matchup and how things continue to build as we go. 5A girls, Roswell on top, and they are ranked at number 1 at 9-2. Johns Creek at number 2. Northgate at number 3, followed by Riverwood, Pope, Lassiter, McIntosh at 12-2 at number 7, Decatur at number 8, Alexander and Chambly are 9 and 10. This is as of a couple of days ago. This is coming into this week. Quad A, the Marist School right now, perfect at 10-0, 7-0 in region. Westminster at number 2. BT's at number 3. Midtown has double-digit wins there at 4. North Oconee, double-digit wins there at number 5. Allatoona at 6. Stars Mill at 7. We've had Stars Mill on the network this year. We've had St. Pius on the network when they took on Brookwood earlier this season. Northside Columbus is at number 9. Pace Academy right now is at number 10. Going into AAA on the private side of the rankings, Class A through AAA, on the private rankings, girls' side, Hebron Christian and our friend Chad Griffin right now at number 1. GAC is at number 2. Wesleyan at 9-1 is number 3. Holy Innocents, Calvary Day, Providence Christian, St. Vincent's on the coast, Whitfield Academy, Mount Perrin, and the Lovett School are 8, 9, and 10. On the public side, Oconee County is at number 1, 12-1. Jefferson at 8-2 is at number 2. No real surprise either of those. Do not be surprised if those two teams, if brackets work their way through, finish playing for the championship in AAA. And that needs to be in the biggest venue humanly possible. And that, to me, would make the most sense to have it in the largest venue that you can have that particular championship in. Adairsville's at number 3 out of the blocks at 11-0. Lumpkin County started out the season 8-0. Whitewater is 10-1 at number 5. ARC, otherwise known as the Academy of Richmond County, they are at number 6. Calhoun's at number 7. Cherokee Bluff is at 8. West Lawrence and Sandy Creek wrap up 9 and 10. AA, it is Pike County. Once again, we talked about Pike County in Region 2 AA. They're at number 1 at 11-2. Coahulla Creek, we've had Coahulla Creek on the network we had them last season, so they're built to a 9-3 mark right now. Sonoraville right now undefeated in their first 10. 5-0 in region. Union County in the mountains at 10-1. Callaway is 9-4, ranked number 5 coming into the week. Hart County is 10-2, and that was part of the reason that we wanted to catch up with Coach Ben coming up here in a little bit when he can get free from class. And we'll find out about Hart County's girls and Hart County's boys. Columbus at number 7, Stevens County at 8, East Jackson and Pierce 9 and 10. Class A D1 on the girls' side. Ace Charter is at number 1. Lamar County out of Barnesville is at number 2, having won 10 of their first 11. Model, Traditional Power, they're at number 3. Jeff Davis, we caught up with our friend Brian Lawson earlier in the season when they were just getting into the rhythm of their schedule. Right now, Jeff Davis at number 4. Social Circle and Coach Richardson at number 5. Thomasville at number 6. Bleckley County at number 7. Bremen at 8. Swainsboro at 8-3. Is at number 9. Worth County also having won 8 of their first 10. They are at number 10. Then in AD2 on the girls' side, it is Screven County winning 12 of their first 13. Chatco unbeaten in their first 12. Atkinson County's at 7-2. Irwin County's at number 4. Tryon's at number 5. Atlanta Classical is at number 6. Troutland's at number 7. Claxton at 8. GMC on the girls' side is at number 9. We've had GMC on the network. And Montgomery County out of Mount Vernon off to the start in their schedule. They are at number 10, and that is girls polls courtesy of our friends at Scoreboard. And that is this week. Now, boys' side, and seeing how things are on the boys' side, we'll start off obviously in 6A. Meadow Creek at number 1. That's going to change, obviously, since Peachtree Ridge, who was at number 6, knocked them off last night. Lambert at number 2. We've had Lambert on the air. Carrollton at number 3. If you haven't had the chance to catch up with our friend Matt Skinner and his calls out in Carrollton to listen to the Carrollton Trojans and get caught up on them, they're at number 3. Pebblebrook at number 4. Duluth at 5. This is coming into this week. Obviously, Peachtree Ridge is going to climb since they knocked off number 1. Coming into the week, they were at number 6. Campbell's at 7. Archer at 8. South Forsyth is number 9, and Berkmar is at number 10. So that is a lot of – that is Cobb, Forsyth, Gwinnett, and Carrollton. That's in 6A. 5A, boys. Johns Creek at number 1, winning 13 of their first 14. McIntosh and Johns Creek and McIntosh, that's going to be a barn burner when those two hook up if the brackets work the way that they would. Lassiter's at number 3. Clark Central's at number 4, having won their first 10. Milton's at number 5. Veterans winning 11 of their first 15 is at number 6. Woodward, Gainesville, Lanier, and Decatur wrap up the top 10 on the boys' side in 5A. Quad A, Dalton at number 1, 12-1, region champs, and they knocked off Cass the other night by more than 10. So another region championship for Matt Cheeves. Great to have him on the network. Last time it was with the matches in Cedartown last week, and it was great to see Cedartown's program continue to grow and see where Dalton's program is at this point of the schedule. Drew High is at number 2, having won 12 of their first 13. Midtown at number 3. Pius, BT, East Forsyth is at number 6. Walnut Grove's in double-digit wins at number 7, followed by Clarkston. Southeast Whitfield, which is, I think, a matchup on decision day. Let me double-check that now that my curiosity has been piqued. All right, Dalton High School. Don't want that one. I want that one. So, varsity boys, 12-1, nationally ranked top 40, and ranked number 12 in the state of Georgia right now, according to Max Preps. And it was, let's see, when is the Southeast matchup? Are they done with Southeast? No, actually, they have Southeast. It is at Southeast on decision day. So at Southeast on decision day is Dalton. So Dalton winning against Cass. They have one more region game, and it is that game against Southeast. In between, here's what the boys' schedule is for Dalton. Northwest Whitfield, and that one is Friday. Pace Academy next week. Fort Payne coming to Dalton on the 2nd. Then they have 2 weeks off before they travel to Notre Dame, Chattanooga, Notre Dame, who is 10th in the state of Tennessee and 51st overall. They're 8-0 in their schedule. But Chattanooga, Notre Dame, that one is on the schedule for Dalton. And then after Chattanooga, Notre Dame, on the 14th, they go to Southeast on decision day, 7:30 kick. And so keep an eye out on that one in Tunnel Hill for Southeast and for Dalton. So that one's definitely going to be one that everybody's got to keep an eye on decision day on the 16th. So Southeast 8-4 out of the blocks, and then Alatuna's at 6-5. And so keep an eye out for Dalton and Southeast once again coming up in about 3 weeks. So that's the rundown in Quad A. In AAA, obviously, we'll go to the private rankings first. Whitfield Academy right now at number 1. We're keeping an eye on Whitfield Academy. They're in double-digit wins. GAC, Calvary Day, unbeaten in their first 9. Atlanta International. Savannah Country Day, once again representing the coast at 8-3. Lovett, Hebron Christian, the Walker School, Holy Innocents, and Wesleyan. They wrap up your top 10 on the private side. AAA boys. Johnson, Gainesville, no surprise. They are number 1 in AAA. Islands at 13-0. They are number 2. Northwest Whitfield. We mentioned that non-region matchup for Dalton coming up in short order. Northwest on Friday against Dalton. Northwest has won their first 10. West Lawrence is at number 4. Oconee County is at number 5. Each of those teams has already double-digit wins this year. Chestatee at number 6. Jenkins out of Savannah is at number 7. Lumpkin is at 8. Troop and our friend Mike Townsend right now, they're at number 9. Bainbridge right now with their undefeated start to their season, they are at number 10. Once again, that's AAA. So AA boys, it is Hart County at number 1 at 12-1 and early start in region play. Union County's at number 2. Callaway's at number 3. Once again, that's why we're doing Callaway and Morgan County, and that doubleheader's tomorrow. Pike is at number 4. Columbus is at 5. Jackson is at number 6. Morgan County's at number 7. So on the boys' side tomorrow, it is number 7 versus number 3. Appling is at number 8 with their undefeated start. North Murray is at number 9. Savannah Arts Academy is at number 10. And that gets you out of the AA rankings. So single A Division 1. Putnam County right now at number 1 with a record of 11-2. Model is at number 2. Bremen, followed by Armurchie, Thomasville, Jeff Davis at number 6. Jasper County, East Lawrence, Swainsboro, and Ace Charter. That is 8, 9, and 10. Jasper County is Monticello. So if you know them in the past as Monticello High School or Jasper County, then that's what it looks like in single A, Class AD1. Then in Class AD2, GMC Prep right now is at number 1. It's great to catch up with them a couple of times this year, first at Creek Cup and then to see them at LOA for the action that they had on the network earlier. Atkinson County, Dooley County, Brooks, Lake Oconee Academy, Metter, Lincoln County, Towns, Claxton, and Washington Wilkes are 8, 9, and 10. And so that means now that we've gone through the rankings, we get to catch up with Ben Hudson and find out what is going on the boys and the girls' sides in Hartwell. Coach, thanks for dropping by the Red Clay Soccer Report. Thanks for taking time out. How long do we have you, by the way?
Got about 10 minutes. Right now, I'm trying to see if I can get my camera functioning.
I mean, we can hear you. Is there like a slide bar on the camera sometimes? Because sometimes, like underneath, either on the laptop, there's a slide bar under the lens itself that might open the iris on the camera. Sometimes this is me trying to talk technology and someone who doesn't know technology. So,
You hit the nail on the head. I'm an eighth grade history teacher, so the tech bars are not normally my go-to.
but I mean, we can do audio. That's fine. If it's if it's too many things that are logged in and the computer's completely confused, I'll take you for the 10 minutes and we can just do it this way. That's perfectly fine.
Hey, that sounds good to me. You go ahead and start talking away. I'll keep looking, and if I end up hitting that camera right, we'll make it roll.
Okay, so since we are a chivalrous lot here on the show, I guess let's start off with the girls' team. And we went through the rankings according to our friends at Scoreboard before you came in. What has it been like to see the girls' side do what they've been able to do this year for you?
Oh man, I cannot say enough about our girls program. Our program in general, I frequently describe Hart County as being a soccer desert.
Hmm.
And by that I mean we have our back against the wall to South Carolina. So we're limited in the directions we can go. We don't really have access to club programs, not much by any means of recreational programs. So we have a small community of soccer enthusiasts. And when I first started with the program, just under about 10 years ago, it really was that. It was just a group of kids who kind of like to get together and play, and we're happy with that being it. And over the course of the years, we've tried to have consistency and we've tried to build. And this year the girls have done really well. We only have a handful of seniors. About half the team are freshmen and sophomores sprinkled in. And we've had an opportunity where you look at your schedule and you got the games you schedule that you really hope to be competitive. You got the games that you hope to hang on for dear life, and the games that you'll really be doing something if you win. And so far, most of the games have fallen our way. So it's been a real joy and pleasure working through this season for the girls.
And you're in a region that is, I guess, if we were to say it's somewhat geographically challenged, would that be an appropriate hyphenate?
That's a really good way to put it. We have a handful of very similar schools who are all kind of Northeast Georgia rural schools, and then this year we have a couple private schools, a few more urban schools, and to be real, this region has kind of rolled that way since at least as long as I have been a part of it. And then, without going into too great a detail, because I'm sure this conversation has come up, the whole single A1, single A2, and then 2A, 3A, and how that really all shakes out. I just kind of think of us as 8 3A,
Mhm.
and we've had a brief period of being 8 2A, but it's really the same crew. And over that stretch of time, we've had the stellar programs like Oconee will pop in and out, Jefferson will pop in and out. So we always kind of have our core of Hart County, Franklin, Stevens, Elbert kind of bounces in and out where we're very similar programs, and then we always have those dissimilar programs that pop in just to bring in a little bit more spice,
Uh-huh.
shall we say?
Uh-huh. Yeah, PAC and Hebron. That's I think that would be a wing that would be a wing flavor that would force you to really have the entire jug of water on the table when you want to try to have them as
Oh yes, yes. But believe you me, matches with, and I will point out with great reverence, matches with Hebron are a they are a thing to watch. They like Chad Griffin has such a program rocking there.
Mhm.
Like to me, just as a guy who enjoys watching sports, it's always a great game to go and watch. And for my girls and boys alike, we kind of mark it as a measuring stick game for us. Like, hey, how are we going to go and show up against these guys? Because it's always a top-notch team.
Boys side, in the interest of equalness here, obviously 12-1, ranked number one in the scoreboard. How do you keep them from staring at the rankings and just trying to focus on region play and the next and the next and the next to make sure that you can tune out all that kind of madness?
All right, I'll be completely frank with you. We are a program that has been unaccustomed to this level of success.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're normally a pretty average little program. We'll finish with a 500 record. In the last 7 years, our boys have gotten into the playoffs 3 times. Prior to 2017, prior to me taking over, our boys had been in the playoffs once in school history.
Mm-hmm.
So, we're definitely trying to move in the right direction. As far as looking at the rankings, I'll be blunt. I really don't even talk about it with the kids. It's one of those things to where until we get further along, I don't want them looking at it. And exactly like you said, I don't want them getting a little too full. I don't want them playing cocky. One of the things that has helped us over the years to try to have success and compete sometimes in games that sometimes we might not be competing in is to try to be humble, try to be, a blue collar program. I alluded earlier, I made a reference of being a soccer desert in our program from 6th to 12th grade, because I try to have a good hand on our middle school program as well.
Mm-hmm.
We have one boy in 7th grade who plays outside of our school program, and we have one girl in 11th grade who plays club outside of our school program.
Wow.
That's it. So we really are a group of kids who are playing for their school and for their team. So I try not to get too much into the rankings. We just kind of take it a week at a time.
Right. I know that we're up against it with you, but when you look at these group, the boys specifically, the defense has been bordering insane, giving up the handful of goals, and I mean that literally because that is the number. And
Yeah.
what you've been able to see with the girls, how much of a challenge is it for you and the staff to navigate both of these teams, coaching a boys' side and a girls' side in that soccer desert?
Oh man. And this is where I have to give a massive amount of credit. I have a very young staff. They're all in their 20s. But when I first picked up the job here, it was really a staff of myself, and then I had a partner who coached the girls team. And it was the two of us, and we did the varsity teams and the JV. And in the last few years, I've able to find a handful of young educators, and in fact, many of them that didn't have a soccer background, and they have jumped in, both feet and have tried to learn and pick up and grow. And like I said, we got a staff of about 6, and those 6 coaches, we coach our 2 middle school teams, our 2 JV teams, and the 2 varsity teams. So it quite literally is a team effort, not just from the kids, but from the adults.
Action against Butler yesterday, getting ready for Carnesville to invade Hartwell on Friday. Do you need a note to get an excuse to get back into class, or are you going to be okay?
Oh, I'm sliding in between map testing right now. I tested a group earlier today, and I'll be testing a group later this afternoon. So we got a few minutes. I do want to say, and I want to give credit to both the boys and girls.
Mhm.
The girls' only 2 losses have come to 2 teams that our girls program has, at least in the last 15 years, never defeated.
Oh, wow.
And this year we came up a little short, but both of those matches were 2-1 matches. So they're putting in work defensively too. The boys were in a slightly different situation. And because we're at the point we're in region play and everybody knows everybody and everybody's got film, I don't feel like I'm hiding anything. Our defense has been rocking, but we've lost our starting goalie,
Mm.
and we just had our second string goalie. We're currently operating with our JV goalie. So we are in a next man up situation, and we're going to see how that rolls. And you said it aptly. Carnesville invades Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Us and Franklin. That is we. I mentioned earlier that us and Hebron. I look at Hebron as a measuring stick, but us and Franklin. I don't think I'm speaking out of character for Coach Cooling, their coach. That every year we are each other's game that we circle.
Mm-hmm.
This is where we obviously everyone measures by, hey, we want to make the playoffs, we want to have playoff success, but we are each other's true measure of how our season is doing.
Last question for you, since I know you got to get back to testing, and I heard the alert siren.
Oh yeah, that was my alarm.
So I guess that means you've really got to get back into the transportation bay to make sure that everything is all right. For someone who's never been up there to see Elberton, Carnesville, Hartwell, and obviously Hebron and coming in, and Stevens with Toccoa and everything in that pocket that you're up against the South Carolina border. For someone who hasn't seen it, they might know it on a high school football Friday. What is it like on a football, FUTBOL, game day, as you mentioned, what it's like with Franklin, but what is it like in that section of the state?
When those schools are getting together,
Mm-hmm.
Franklin, Hart, Elbert, Stevens, I would not dare make the comparison to a true Friday night football,
Right.
but for soccer matches for small rural communities, we're talking all schools between 900 to 1,050 kids. It will get raucous. I mean, you want to talk about uh, duck calls and hollering and student sections given what for. It makes for a nice, exciting environment. And I'll be blunt, because our region has historically had real state powers.
Mm-hmm.
Jefferson, Oconee, Morgan, Hebron have always kind of cycled through. They've kind of taken the crown. They're kind of our team that whenever those schools have been in our region, they're the ones flag bearing and getting the Final Fours and championships and championship rounds. But when you get beyond that, we still have some decent soccer going on, and we may not be an urban Athens, Atlanta environment, so there may not be as many opportunities for kids to play outside of the school season. But for some heavily influenced school community-based programs,
Mm-hmm.
we'll put on some soccer.
And we love to see it. Thanks for hopping in between tests. Go back to your testing, and may everyone circle B if they're always having issues with the answers. Coach,
Yes, sir, indeed. Thanks for having me on. I hope if I ever get the invite again, I'll make sure to have the camera rocking and rolling.
well, in the playoffs, we do this daily, so you've been summarily warned, okay?
All right, sounds good.
We'll see you then, Coach.
Yes, sir. Have a good day.
There goes Ben Hudson, head coach of the boys and girls sides at Hart County. He's got to get back to testing, and so that's a busy time for him. And we were able to keep him for 15. I thought we were only going to get him for 10, but we heard the alarm in the transporter room, and so that meant that I know that I had to kind of stop with the questions and all that. So, very, very cool that we were able to do to be able to catch up with all of that and find out what's going on, because Hart County, when you're top ranked with the boys, and he mentioned the rosters themselves. So let me get into the girls' side when it comes to right now. Like I said, 10-2, 1-2 in region play, 9-1 away from home. They only have two. They've only had 2 home matches. Hart County has. So when you look at the roster on the girls' side, obviously, it was you had a young group there last year, and so you're looking for how it is this year. But he mentioned on the boys' side that you're looking at half the team's freshmen and sophomores on the boys' side. Sorry about that. Freshmen and sophomores on the boys' side. So I mean, you've got that kind of youth that's there, not used to this kind of output. The boys' team has only given up. The boys' team has only given up 5 goals all year. 5. One more than 4. You think I'm kidding? At 12-1, 2-1 in region play. When you look at the schedule, gave up 1 to Thompson when they won in shootout, when they won in PKs. Gave up 1 at Commerce. Gave up 3 to Stevens County when they lost in region on the boys' side. That's it. That's it. 3 in a loss, 1 in a PK shootout win, 1 in a 5-1 win. That's what they've been able to do this season at Hart on the boys' side. 5 goals allowed all season. 3 of those in 1 match. So when you're looking at Region 8 AA, keep an eye on Hart County. Like I said, ranked number 1 on the boys' side right now, courtesy of our friends at Scoreboard. But having only given up 5 goals all season. Tests down the line, and that was why I wanted to ask, because Friday, Franklin County and Hart. Like I said, my exposure to the high school football Friday nights, I know what that region is. I know what that looks like. Elbert, Stevens, Hart, Franklin. Traditionally, the 4 of them are all in one region. And then, as Coach mentioned, you end up with the occasional drifters that come in. And like I said, this time around, it's PAC and it's Hebron. So you've got that as your region right now. Franklin County at home in Hartwell on Friday. Hebron in Hartwell next Tuesday. Then they have Thompson visiting on the 3rd. Then they're in Elberton on the 14th. And then they wrap up with Josie. And that's the other question. You know, when we have Coach back, I've got to ask about schedule creation. Being where they are, up 85, up against the border, basically. What it's like to have to try to create schedules and things like that. But they finish up with Josie coming to Hartwell on decision day on the 16th, non-region game. So that was why we wanted to catch up with activity in Hart County and Hartwell and let you know what's going on up there in this particular region and in what's going on with a team that has only given up 5 goals all season. And right now, 12-1, and half of the group is freshmen and sophomores. Not a lot of seniors in this group. So let's get you into the schedule and let you know what is going on around the state today. And we will go with boys' side first because that is the key that is open for me here today. So only because it is a Wednesday and most of everything happens on Tuesdays and Fridays, only a handful of matches available. We'll go over what happened last night to get us to where we are today. 12 matches today. And it is 5:30 North Clayton and Banneker. Miller Grove and Salem is at 5:30. Paulding County and Booker T. That is at 6:30. Towns and Rabun in the mountains. That is at 7. Both teams looking for their 4th win of the year. Kip and Holy Innocents is at 7 o'clock. Armurchie and Gordon Central. Dutchtown and Noonan. That's a good rivalry in the Southern Crescent down I-85 South. Heading toward the Alabama. Cedar Grove and Stone Mountain. So DeKalb County's busy today. Montgomery County and GMC. Keep an eye on that one. That one's at 7:30. Claiborne County travels across the border to take on Temple at 8 Eastern, and Douglas and Stevenson in the city of Atlanta. APS, that one is at 8 o'clock. And as a reminder, if you have not had the opportunity to catch up with our friends at Grady Baby. That's grady-baby.com. And if you've seen some of us wandering around with the gear that says soccer is just better in Atlanta, that is a collaboration with our friends at Grady Baby. And the proceeds as a part of our Soccer for Good campaign help out middle school soccer programs attached to Atlanta Public Schools. So it's an opportunity for us and our Soccer for Good to give back through the gear that you'll see us wearing occasionally. Once again, it's grady-baby.com. grady-baby.com. The soccer is just better in Atlanta gear. You can get it in the red and the black, gold embossed lettering, and that will help you. That'll help out middle school soccer programs attached to APS. So we can't thank them enough for being great partners with us here at SDH. So yesterday, oh, wow. Okay. So you don't want to give me yesterday's schedule. That was interesting. 123 matches yesterday. And it was started off with action in the GIAA. And those were your early finals. North Paulding on the boys' side knocked off Douglas County, beat them by 10. Osborne beat Hillgrove 3-1. So big win for Osborne. Yesterday, Mount Vernon over Paideia by the score of 2-0. And I'm going to try and look at this with ranked teams and teams of note. South Forsyth beat Roswell 3-2. It was Whitfield 8-1 winners over Mount Perrin. Calhoun beat Lafette by 10. Union County over Coahulla Creek, and that one was a 2-0 final. Buford once again over Wesleyan on the boys' side, 3-0. It was Decatur with a win yesterday, LFO with a win yesterday. Union Grove knocked off Jones County by 10. Walker School put 8 on Mount Pisgah. And Tryon and Murray County won in PKs in the region, 1-1 after 90 and 110. It was Jackson County shutting out Seconder 2-0. Darlington beat Haralson County by 10. Pike beat Rutland by 10. South Gwinnett over Grovetown 4-0. Hebron Christian over East Jackson 4-0. It was Norcross over Duluth 4-1. And LaGrange over Calvary Christian in PKs 2-2. Gainesville beat Lanier 2-1. Archer shut out Newton 7-0. Coosa over Dade 4-1. Marist shuts out Druid Hills 1-0. Drew beat Mays by 10. It was Parkview winning over Berkmar 1-0. East Hall 3-2 over Appalachia. Winder Barrow and the DOGGs beat Madison County by the score of 3-1. Hab Central over Cherokee Bluff 2-1. Dalton, we'd mentioned, beating Cass by 10. Jasper County, the Canes knocking off Lamar. That was a 3-0 final. Adairsville over Ridgeland 2-1. Chestatee and PKs over Rabun County 1-1 after 90 at 100 and 110. Callaway shutout beats Jackson yesterday 2-1 to get the momentum coming into the games with Morgan County on tomorrow. Upson-Lee over Spalding 4-2. Campbell put 10 on Paulding County. It was Lovett in PKs over GAC 4-4 after 90, 100, and 110. Social Circle beat Utopian by 10. McDonough over Locust Grove 7-4. St. Pius put 10 on Southwest DeKalb. Cartersville with a win over Hiram 2-0. Towers over Putnam County on the boys' side. That's an unexpected one. Towers over Putnam County 4-3. Mundy's Mill over Jonesboro by the score of 7-1. Lumpkin County a winner yesterday, as was Morgan County over Eastside 4-3. Oconee County 3-1 over Mountain View. It was Collins Hill 6-2 over North Oconee. Harris County over Griffin 4-2. Cross Keys over North Springs 4-0. Cedar Shoals shut out Stevens County. Say that 10 times fast. 4-0. Northwest Whitfield over Gilmer 4-1. Holy Innocents put 10 on Therrell. East Forsyth, they beat Jefferson's boys by the score of 2-1. Southeast Whitfield over Woodland 1-0. Brookwood shut out North Gwinnett 2-0. North Forsyth, the big winner over West Hall. It was Allatoona over Cedartown. Johnson put 10 on North Hall. Fannin did the same to Christian Heritage. ARC beat Baldwin 1-0. Northview over Tucker 2-1. Barrow Arts, it was 5-4 over Central Gwinnett. And Franklin County over PAC 3-0. It was Creekview over Woodstock. Dunwoody over Woodward. Harrison shuts out Pebblebrook by the score of 1-0. McIntosh over Langston Hughes 10-1. It was Pope a winner. Johns Creek over North Cobb 6-1. Marietta 8-1 over McEachern. Chattahoochee 1-0 over Milton. Riverwood shut out Lassiter 2-0. Alpharetta over Denmark. Clarkston beat Lithonia. Northside Columbus over Stars Mill 3-2. It was Rome over Lithia Springs by 4. Same score, River Ridge over Sequoia. Trinity Christian over Fayette County 7-1. BT over Kelb 5-0. Carrollton shut out East Coweta for the region championship there. by the final of 6-0. Give our buddy Matt Skinner a listen when you have the chance. Kennesaw Mountain shut out New Manchester. Pace over Midtown. Whitewater shut out Sandy Creek. And that takes care of action on the boys' side. Girls' side yesterday. And we will go with the schedule today, and then we'll go back into what happened yesterday. 11 matches today. It starts with 5 o'clockers with Townsend Rabun. A lot of the teams that we talked about on the boys' side, simultaneous scheduling. Tryon and Calhoun. If you're in Northwest Georgia, keep an eye out on that one. And it is a 5 o'clock start on the girls' side. Armurchie, Gordon Central, North Clayton, and Banneker. Dooley and GMC on the girls' side at 5:30. Dutchtown and Noonan's at 6. Claiborne and Temple is at 6 in the Eastern time zone. Stevenson and Douglas is at 6, and Miller Grove and Salem is at 7:30. So yesterday, as we reload the schedule again, 119 matches on the girls' side. Some of the greatest hits were Jones County shutting out Union Grove. It was Monroe area over Bethlehem Christian. Walker School over Mount Pisgah 1-0. Wesleyan's girls won over Buford 6-2. Sonoraville winner over LFO on the girls' side. Union County shut out Coahulla Creek. It was Calhoun over Lafette 7-3. Whitfield Academy's girls 5-0 over Mount Perrin. Greene County a winner over Banks. It was AIS over Galloway 1-0. Peachtree Ridge 5-2 over Meadow Creek. So Peachtree Ridge got the sweep yesterday. Pinecrest over West Forsyth 5-1. Drew shut out Mays by 10. Johnson's girls got the win 3-1 over North Hall. Madison County over Winder Barrow, same score. North Cobb Christian over North Murray by 8. Jackson County, same score over Seconder. Cherokee Bluff 6-1 winners over Hab Central. North Springs over Cross Keys 3-2. Brookwood's girls beat North Gwinnett. That was a highly anticipated game going in, and that 80 minutes, I'm sure, was packed one way to from the beginning of the clock to the end of it. Brookwood won that one by the score of 1-0. Cartersville shuts out Hiram 6-0, and Dalton's girls beat Cass by the score of 3-1. Lamar County, a big winner over Jasper County. Hebron Christian put 8 on East Jackson, winning that one 8-1. Adairsville over Ridgeland, 9-0 as they continue their great season. East Hall over Appalachia. Darlington over Haralson County by 8. Upson Lee 3-1 over Spalding. Callaway 2-1 over Jackson, once again setting up action tomorrow. Pike County in a region game put 15 on Rutland. Grovetown a winner over South Gwinnett. Creekside a winner over MLK. Social Circle put 11 on Utopian. We were there for the Social Circle round of that region play, and those two wrapped up their region play against one another yesterday. Coney County over Mountain View 5-0. Putnam County's girls shut out Towers by the score of 2-0. Fannin put 10 on Christian Heritage. Lumpkin shut out Dawson. Eastside splits with Morgan with a 2-1 win on the girls' side. Locust Grove put 10 on McDonough. Shiloh and Decatur put 11 on Shiloh. LaGrange got the sweep over Calvary Christian, winning on the girls' side 3-2. Parkview put 8 on Berkmar. Archer put 7 on Newton. Clark Central 2-1 over Loganville. It was Allatoona putting 10 on Cedartown. Northview over Tucker 4-1. Jefferson shutting out East Forsyth by the score of 7-0. St. Pius 10-0 over Southwest DeKalb. ARC over Baldwin by 10. It was PAC over Franklin 1-0. Rabun County over Chestatee 3-1. Holy Innocents in a region game that goes to a time. Put 16 on Therrell yesterday to boost their goal difference. Northwest Whitfield 3-0 over Gilmer. Harris County put 10 on Griffin. Same for Norcross over Duluth. Woodland beat Southeast Whitfield 7-0. Lanier 2-1 over Gainesville. Mundy's Mill 10 on Jonesboro. North Oconee 6-1 over Collins Hill. Midtown shut out Pace 4-0. It was East Coweta on the girls' side in a 6-5 thriller at Carrollton. Chattahoochee loses to Milton 1-0. Johns Creek 5-0 on North Cobb. Harrison shuts out Pebblebrook by 10. Same score, Kennesaw Mountain over New Manchester, and McIntosh over Langston Hughes. Salem 3-2 over Columbia. Campbell over Paulding County 7-0. River Ridge over Sequoia 2-1. Trinity Christian 9 on Fayette County. Marist 10 on Druid Hills. Rome 9 on Lithia Springs. Clarkston over Lithonia 3-2. Cambridge 3-0 over Centennial. Whitewater shutting out Sandy Creek 9-0. Marietta did the same to McEachern. Stars Mill shut out Northside Columbus by 6. Woodward Academy over Dunwoody 3-0. Alexander shuts out East Paulding by 10. Denmark 2-0 on Alpharetta. Pope over Sprayberry 2-0. BT over Kell by 10. Same score, Chambly over Tri-Cities. It was same score Providence Christian over Kings Ridge. It was South Cobb over Chapel Hill 4-0. Creekview 5-0 over Woodstock. Hillgrove beating Osborne by 10, and Walton shutting out Roswell 1-0 in a game that had to be reassigned to a venue. So once again tomorrow, back at it for our games of the week presented by our friends at Kaiser Permanente. We will be in Hogansville, Morgan County, Callaway, 5:30, 7:30. Once again, we'll be there on the network. Little before, we'll let you know what's going on. It'll be our first trip to the soccer stadium at Callaway to let you know what's going on in Region 2 AA. So as always, great to catch up with all of you for the Red Clay Soccer Report. Keep an eye out for all the reports that we have all season long, all week long. Games tomorrow, SDHAM coming up 9:05 on the network tomorrow, where we break it all down, let you know what's going on with the U.S. men's national team, and getting ready for anything and everything going on there as well as they get ready for 2 matches in a couple days coming up here at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. 9:05 across all the network on the SDH and all the socials, YouTube, X, Twitch. It's all going to be there, and looking forward to seeing you there as well. Thanks to Coach Ben Hudson for hanging out with us from Hart County, letting you know what's going on in between testing. And so he had to go back to testing. We're going to go back to making sure you know what else is going on. Maddie Cruz is at the Business of Soccer Summit at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Look for her reports today and tomorrow. And we'll let you know what else is going on in and around the world of soccer. Power Hour with Nino Torres from Fubo TV and Nico Moreno from Pulso Sports and Sounder at Heart coming up in 10 o'clock hour tomorrow. So for everybody here at SDH, I'm just John. Thanks for dropping by, as you always do. And since it is the end of the show, that means we do this. Back at it again, 9:05 tomorrow for SDH AM.